In the next step of this tutorial, I will use something that is made by another designer. Of course, it is nice to buy everything from my store, but you will have items that come from other designers, and how can you mix and match those things? Well, for the example, I bought from Sick Bubblegum Textures the Holiday add-on, which is available in the main store on the top floor. They have a boutique there, and I will use the text add-on 2, which is this one. It is a lace straps, it is a corset lace straps, and I want to use that on the back to break a little bit the pattern of the back, because I think it is a bit boring. I'm going to save this one as a PNG, and then I choose here PNG. That is something that can only be done Firestorm, as you know, and I will save this in my vintage lace gown, the file that I have been uploading things from, so I say save. Good. I can close this because I don't need it in World. Actually, I will go back to my Photoshop and I will look for it in Explorer. Here it is, and here is the texture that I was looking for. Good. Making this a little bit smaller and making sure that I have a layer a bit high up, for instance here, selected so it will come over the border. I will, let me see that I stay within the recording screen. I can now drag in this texture right into the file. You see it is very big, it is very large, it is the original size, and I will say this is okay. It is now entered as a so-called smart object, and I will have to rasterize this layer. So, right-clicking the layer, I will choose rasterize layer. There. And now it's a normal layer I can work with as any other layer. Good. I want it to be on top of the wrinkles. You can see here the wrinkles on the back here. It should be higher than that because the wrinkles should be underneath. I will use the sizer, the resizer, and now resize it more or less to the correct size. Scroll in a bit so we can see it here. Let me put the edge matching guide on here so I can see this is the middle line here, like more or less like this. I want be careful not to have the bow end get out of the template, so this is where I want to have it more or less, and it is in the middle because I already have made this guideline that is exactly in the middle, and I can see now it is there. I want this to be a bit smaller here on top and a bit wider here, so in order to do that I choose Edit, Transform, and I choose Perspective. And now I can move this to be a bit smaller, like this. So it is strapped more here than it is here on the bottom. Okay, fine. I will take away the pattern for a while so I can see the wrinkles better, and I can see that this wrinkle is more or less fine, but this one is a bit out of the, I want it to be a bit more under the straps. So I will go to the wrinkles, highlight, and the wrinkles shade together. I can move them a bit. There we go. See, now they are getting better. I could rotate the wrinkles a little bit, but this I think is not too bad at all. Good. All I need to do now is give this lace a better color, because it is white and that is not the color I want. So let me put back the pattern overlay on the base, and I will go back to the texture here, double click it and make a color overlay and choose a warm yellow color. Well, this is a bit too light here. Okay, let me see what happens if I choose the multiply overlay. See, then it is absolutely perfect. And what I can also do now is to make it even a little more vivid is add some drop shadow. You see it is getting a little bit lifted off the layer. So I say okay, and this is how it looks in Photoshop. And in GIMP this would look more or less the same. I could drag this texture in like I did in Photoshop. Make sure it is over the wrinkles. So use this. It is not a smart object. It is rasterized straight away. So I can make sure that if I scroll out a little, and I can make this a bit more fitting using the scale tool, and well, I can put it directly in as figures, but well, I have no idea how the figures will be, so this can be about it. Scale it down. Let's have a look. If I get in a bit closer, move it, move the active layer here. This is about the size that I want to give it, maybe a bit smaller. Scale it a bit more. Get this out of the way, like this. Scale, move. Like this. Oh, I miss a piece here. This is probably because it was not in the center. Well, I can leave it for now. You will have to redo it because I miss a little bit of the texture here that was on the outside. See, here it is not exactly in the middle, so it was cut off. Good. I just want to show you about the same things. We can have the perspective here as well, and so if I click this I can set the perspective. It doesn't take automatically both, and I say yes, transform. It is a floating selection, you see that, and you need to set that to a new layer. So here it is, this transformation is now a new layer. If I take it down to the other one, here is the original one that I can throw away because it is an empty layer now. And this transformation I should call straps, for instance, so I know what it is. In order to have a drop shadow, because the drop shadow doesn't work well, the color overlay is simple. It is selecting the pixels and giving it a color overlay layer on top. But the drop shadow I will show you. I will select the pictures, alpha to selection. I will make a new layer underneath here, and I will call that shadow. Oh, there, okay. And I will fill this with the bucket tool in the foreground color and the whole selection, and I will fill it with black. There we go. So now there is this black thing here, the straps. I will deselect everything, and here on filters I will choose blur, and I'll choose a Gaussian blur, horizontal 8 pixels. There we go. See, I have made some blur now, so if I take this away you see it is blurry. I can set the blending mode to multiply, and I can move this layer, the active layer, and I move it a little bit down, and the opacity can be brought back because this 100% is far too much. Come on, like this. And now you see it has a nice drop shadow as well. So that is how you create a drop shadow in GIMP. Good. We are going to add a texture to the pants, but that is the next video.